Yeah. How's it going, man? All right.
You're on.
Let's do it. Okay. So we will see out the Shema as always. Not crazy, but so last week we finished up like I wanted us to finish. Just because there's no real reason why I wanted to finish up, but just we pushed.
I had a couple of good donor lumps this week.
Did you?
Yes. I thought about
That's
it.
funny that you said don't alum because
I even
someone
asked,
else.
where is it? Is it in the front or the back? It's in the front.
It's really in the front. Someone else came to me on Shabbos and says, it's such a good Adon alum this week. I'm like, oh, you watched the video? It wasn't someone who was here. You watched the share. So you know what? If that's what we got, that people say Adon alum after that share, then the Kodesh Baruch was happy because Adon alum is Shem Malach with Terem Kol Yitzir. Okay, very good. So it's Gewalt. So it's Gewalt because this week's Parsha is Yisro. Yisro is about Kabbalah Torah. So Sicha Ayin Vov is a massive, in the world of Breslov, it's a massive Sicha of Rabbi Nachman. This is where Rabbi Nachman lays out a serious limud, a way, a mahalach of limud, of learning. It has been understood. There's a Quintus I have over here, Lahavin al-Haskell. See this Quintus? About this Sicha. I actually never looked at it before until tonight. I started looking at it a little bit. I want to make sure that we take more than 1 week for the Sicha, so I have time to learn. Anyway, you good? Okay, Sicha Ayin Vov. Shamati b'shmo, says Rabbi Nosson, I heard the name of Rabbi Nachman Mikvar, Shesiper Shalomid Kol Ha'arba Shulchan Orech Shlosh Pam. I heard that already at a young age, doesn't say how young, but they say pretty young, Rabbi Nachman had already gone through Shulchan Aruch, the entire Shulchan Aruch, not just Orech Chaim. Some of us think that all Shulchan Aruch is Orech Chaim. Yeah, you see that? You see that black set right behind you? It spans 2.5. Okay, so that's a little bit fancy, but it's Shulchan Aruch is massive. Orech Chaim, Even Ezer, Yeredeya, Choshen Mishpat. It's a lot of pages. And he finished it 3 times. This is early in his life. Pam achas kipshuto. The first time he finished it was Pashut. He learned through each word, he understood it, he moved on. Upam sheni, the second time Rabbi Nachman went through it. Lamed v'gamar osam, he learned it, he finished it. V'hay yodeh b'chol din v'din. He knew every halacha, me'arba Shulchan Aruch, from the 4 books of Shulchan Aruch, like I just mentioned. Hashora Shalom, the source of every halacha. The Gemara, Perish Rashi Tosfos. He knew the source of every halacha in Shulchan Aruch, the Gemara that it came from, and the Rashi and the Tosfos on that Gemara. If you've ever learned a sugya until Shulchan Aruch, your head is going to start to spin. How much that is. It's like all Shas. Upam Shlishi, and now that was only the second time he finished Shulchan Aruch. Now the 3rd time he went around, Lamed v'Gamar Osam, he learned it and he finished it. V'zocha leida b'chol din v'din sod hakavana shel hadin. He understood the secret kavana behind the din, the pnimius, the Kabbalah, the Ramazim. So what is this din? What is this halacha according to Sod, the secret of Torah? Rizal, Zohar. What's the deeper meaning, the mystical reason behind it? And according to this, it was when he was young. When he was young, urav, 13, 14, 15. What were you guys doing at 13, 14, 15? And then, after those 3 times, now he's already mastered the depth. He learned it once, pshat. Then he learned it once, Ian, in Nigla. And the 3rd time he learned the Ian of Pnimius, of secrets of Torah, of Sodos of Torah. Then he chaz that over again and again and again the rest of his life. But we know that Torah is made up of 4 parts. Every pasuk, every limud, every halacha, everything can be broken down to 4, which is really 16. Because there's pshat, remez, drush, sod. There's the pshat, the simple explanation. Then there's the ramazim, the hints that are found inside of it. It could be the gematrias, it could be change of letters, it could be different types of hints. Then there's the drush, to expound the Indian learning to maybe something that applies to life in another aspect. You could, like Midrashim, Drush, but Midrash is the whole world. And then Sod. Pshat Midrash Sod, and the secrets. So Menachem, the first time he finished it was Pshat. Second time he finished it was more like a Drush, to be Dorish, to learn the Ian of it. And the third time he learned the Remez and the Sod. And then he chazed that over the rest of his life. V'darka Yatamid, and his way was always Shahaya Lomed Harbe Kol Yom of Arasof. Menachem learned a lot until the end of his life. Even at the end of his days when he had a serious sickness in the liver, he still was learning. And even though he was very burdened with the tzibur, he was dealing a lot with us, saying shiurim, answering questions, giving advice. I'm sure his davening was not short. And all the people that he tried to makarev to Avodas Hashem, and he spent a lot of time dealing with people. And he used to give us advice in all of our dealings, or it could be business dealings even maybe, in Avodas Hashem. And his mind was always floating in very high places, high in the neuros mode, awesome, high places. Meaning the Torahs that he brought down, everybody who learned the Sichos Haran knows, those are not simple Torahs. When did he come up with those? He was thinking about it. So he's doing all that, and Afal Peking, with all the things, dealing with the people, and his own hasagas. He'd should sit down and be learning Gemara, Shulchan Aruch. We'll see some other things that he was learning. He would learn a lot every day. He's not a person who wasted time. And he didn't learn in a way of tirda, where he was burdened to learn, because he had to learn a lot every day. He had a certain quota, but he wasn't burdened. He was always learning in a state of yishuv hadas, a settled mind. And that's a massive chiddush. I can't even explain it to you. Therefore, he had time for everything. He was a person who made use of his time very seriously, very focused, very structured, with Yeshiva Das. And his learning was always very fast. He says weiter. And he would learn a few dafin. Here, you know what? I'll show you this. Here's a Shulchan Aruch. This is probably close to what he had, maybe. I mean, not this typesetting. The typesetting is much newer. But classic page of Shulchan Aruch for those who have seen it. Here's the Shulchan Aruch, and then here are the commentaries around it. Okay, Magen Avram, the Taz, the Berhetiv. There's the Gra. I think he's going to mention that there's the Canaan. Look what he says. So he would learn Kama Dapin. A dap is two sides. 1, 2, let's say 3. Not long to take you just to read the words. He learned Kama Dapin Posik of Halach of Shulchan Aruch. B'Shah Achas in 1 hour. Im Kola Pirushim Kulam. Shesav Harbe Shulchan Aruch. With all the Pirushim that surrounded the Shulchan Aruch. And it's Fas Mekrach Gadol that are printed in the big edition. Shehein Haturizov, the Taz, the Magen Avram. These are not simple commentaries. The Ber Hagola, this is really where the sources of everything are. The Pri Chadash. Do we even have the Pri Chadash on the page over here? It might be in the back. Pri Chadash in this edition's in the back. Vater Zekanim, very little letters. Ukiyotze Behem B'Shar Chalakim, and other commentaries like them in the other Chalakim. So we learn a few blot an hour. Shulchan Aruch. V'siper. Some people just think of Menachem. Oh, he was just doing his bodhis all day, davening all day. It's a massive Talmud Chacham. V'siper v'shebeis. Listen to this, and he would say, he'll tell over. Shebeisha olam mechinim atzmam lehispal b'boker. In the morning, when people were preparing themselves to daven, right? Mechinim atzmam lehispal b'boker. Be'esha maschil l'skabetz from the time that they started gathering the minyan together, ad shemaschil l'spal, until the time they actually started to daven. But Osa Shah, in that time, who lomid arba dapin posik. He learned 4 blot Shulchan Aruch. The page that I just showed you, back and forth, 4 of those. From the time they were starting to gather the people to daven to the time of davening. How long do you think that was? Maybe an hour. First of all, you should just know 2 things. Number 1, he davened, I think, every single day, which means this is quite early in the morning. He also would wake up at Chatzos, right? Rabbi Nachman was known to wake up at Chatzos, and then he would learn until the morning. But he didn't waste his time, right? People are hacking around, they have their coffee, they're walking around, they're getting ready for davening, they're talis, You see in a lot of places, you go to like a minion factory, sometimes Chassidim, hacking around, they first put their talis on, and they get the coffee, it takes another 5 minutes, and they finally get like one tefillin on, then the other tefillin on. You've seen it, you see it going around. Nothing wrong, teach their own. We're not going to waste time. He took things seriously, and he'd be learning. Everybody like hacking around, he'd be learning. He's sitting there learning. Rabbi Nachman's way was to learn very, very fast. To move, page after page after page. And he would tell us this many, many times. It's good to learn quick. Not to be so medactic, what's a good word in English?
Particular.
So meticulous, particular in the learning too much.
How come?
Rak lilmud b'pshitas bezrizis. Learn simply, bezrizis. Move fast. With the livli, lebalbel daito harbe b'shasimudu minyan. And don't get into a bilbul hadas when you're going from inyan to inyan. Or don't go from inyan to inyan. Stay in your lane. Learn what you're learning. Get the pashup shot, basic, and move on. And if it comes that you're trying to learn something and you're not even getting the pashup shot, don't stay there too long. Move on. Move on. And very often, he says, okay, this is Rabbi Nachman, but very often if a person would just continue learning, he'll figure out what he missed. That which he didn't understand, he moved on. Keep learning, and you'll figure out the mail. He's going to say that that a person is supposed to continue learning, not just to say for once, supposed to learn it a few times. Just don't get stuck. The way of learning nowadays, for a lot of the world, is very slow. Everything is slow. Everything is, you're learning Gemara, you're in a yeshiva system. Most of the yeshiva system, they're learning an entire year, maybe 10 blot. 10 blot. Those who are learning, 10 blot is barely a percentage of a masechta. Pick a such a big masechta. Kedushin. What is it? There's, I think, Pei Gimel, 82. Pei Beis, 82 blot in Kedushin. They're getting done with 10 blot. Ian. And they're doing that 2 Sdarim. They're not moving anywhere. So Rabbi Nachman is of the opinion that you have to keep moving. That doesn't mean learn so fast you don't have any idea what you're saying, but learn through Svar. People will learn. You can learn Chumash, you can learn Navi, you can learn Mishnah, you can learn Halacha, but move. Move.
What about retention? Because how do you retain?
He's going to say, because you're going to go over it again and again and again. You're not just learning it once. And very often a person is not learning because he gets stuck in one thing, and then he gets stuck on one thing, and then he gets stuck on one thing, and he's like, I'm done, I can't do it anymore. What happens is, move on. Who cares? Move on. Who says you have to always understand every single thing the first time? Who says? Just move on. We're always like, no, if I don't get this, I can't move on. I'm not going to... Listen, buddy. You're probably not even going to understand it if you think you understand it. You're not going to remember it. Just, it's okay. Move on. It's better to keep moving. Keep moving, because then you'll always keep moving. You'll always stay in learning. Some people, we're not learning enough. We're not learning enough Torah. As a Jewish nation outside of the the yeshiva world, we're not learning enough. We could be learning more. There's no question. We have the time. We have the English translations if we need. We could be putting in more time. We could. And could be that we should create a seder of moving through things. Part of the problem is that a person who's learning, let's say he goes to, let's say, a Daf Yomi Shir or something, let's say. And he's not learning it, he's being taught it. So sometimes that's like, it's really not a good situation. Because if you're not learning yourself, you're being taught it, and you're just starting to space out, and it's a lot. Blot, people don't chop, when they make these, that's like the shul pick everybody pick a masechta, we're going to make a siyum at the end of the year. And everybody's like, okay, I'm going to pick chulin, I'm going to pick zvachim, you've heard these masechtas? I'm going to pick, all these big masechtas. And what's their svara? It's okay, because there's art scroll. I got this, it's English, right? Most people who are never like in learning or yeshiva, they have no understanding of how much, I don't care how much English you have, how much a masechta like zvachim is. It would take you an entire year if you're learning every single day for an hour. If you learn one amud a day, that's already a lot. Then you finish in the year. Well, people are like, oh no, it's English. It's okay, I can do it. I don't think most of these times people finish the masechtas they're supposed to do. Even Mishnayos. Oh, you go to Beis Elvel. They say, please take a masech, some Mishnayos from, make a siyum at the end of the 30 days. So everybody said they want to be nice. So they sign up. If you've never really learned the Mishnayos, it's not so easy. I don't even take them. I know myself because I have a certain schedule and seder. It's not going to fit in. I know I'm not going to have time because if I take it on, I have to take it on. But people don't even realize. You take one Masechta, it's not so short.
Can we end that tradition to do Mishnayos?
No. You could end the tradition to take it. You don't need to take it. Mishnah's neshama. It's kedai to learn. But people will say, you don't have to finish all of Shas Mishnayos. You can take one Seder. Everybody's always trying to finish the Shas Mishnayos. Take one Seder. Right? Small one. Nowadays also you can pay people. They have you can call up, there was a guy just now, I don't know exactly the situation, but he paid multiple, I think it was Bachram, to finish Shas. I think in Panovich, they finished Shas for a yard site for his father. He made a siyum just now.
Shas, Gemara.
Gemara. Can you imagine? Bachram. In 1 year. Now, I don't know how much they paid, and I don't know how many Bachram, but
it's not a lot.
It's probably a lot. Yeah. 7.5 blot a day. You gotta move. If I go upon him, a person needs to has to have different dharma of learning. People have to learn more. They have to learn more. And it doesn't have to be fancy things. We can go back to basic Chumash Rashi. We can go back to basic Mishnayos. Basics. But move. Learn. Keep moving. Rachman is weiter. It's hard because there's many reasons why it's hard. It's hard because it's hard. But a person has to have motivation. A person has to understand that learning is very, very important. And it's not about learning halacha l'maisa, and it's not about necessarily understanding everything. Be a person who's in learning. I remember I was doing the Daf Yomi, so I did it. So I finished my personal cycle. I don't know, a few years ago. I don't know. And when I was speaking at the siyum, I said, "Do you think that I know everything I learned? Obviously, not even close. Even every day, do you think I chopped everything? No. To me, Daf Yomi isn't about retaining. It's not about understanding everything. I called it a kinyan hazman. Every single day, I was learning Shas for 30, 45 minutes, whatever it was. So I'm osek b'Talmud Torah. We get caught. The Yetzer Hara tries to trick us. What are you doing for 45 minutes? You're not going to remember this anyway. You don't understand it anyway. What's the tachlis? The tachlis is that you're learning for 45 minutes. You're a person who's in learning. It doesn't matter if you remember nothing. It doesn't even matter if you understand it. The fact that you're sitting with Torah, whatever Torah it is, for 45 minutes, Torah Hashem, it doesn't matter what it is. Chumash Rashi, Mishnayos, Kitta Shulchan Aruch, Chasidus. I don't care. No one cares. Only the Yetzer Hara cares because he tries to tell you, what are you doing? You're like, when you're learning Shulchan Aruch, he's like, come on. Go learn some Chasidus. Make yourself exciting. These aren't learning Chasidus. He's like, comes to you, he's like, listen, buddy, you don't know Shulchan Aruch. What are you wasting time on Chasidus? You don't even know how to put tefillin on in the morning. Right? Start learning Bekiyas. Bekiyas? What are you, a loser? Why don't you learn some Ian, You learn Ian. He's like, you're only going to learn one blot in your whole life. Why don't you learn some Bekiyas? The person has a Bilbo Das, the person learns nothing. If this never happened to you, it's because you're just not learning. Because once you start learning, it's about to happen to you. This is what the Yitzhak does. You go to this year, it's like, why get that year? You should make this year. You go to this year, you go because the Yitzhak, that's what he wants to stop a person. Everything to stop a person from learning. To being involved in the Torah, whatever Torah it is. Chas Hashem, a person should learn and actually enjoy it. Right? It's a big chiddush. To learn something and enjoy it. It can be done. It can be done. And when you're learning, he says you just need the Amira. You just need to say the words. Lomer, Hadvarim, Keseder. Say the words in order, Memeli Yavin, and Memeli you'll understand. It's not so simple. We're going to have to understand more. What does that mean? I just read 1,000 words of Gemara, I'm going to understand? Probably not. That's not what it means. But let's keep going. V'lo yuvalbel daito b'tchilas limudo sheyirtze lohavin tekef umachna zayik shelo harbe tekef v'lo yavin kol. It says, don't get all confused and thrown off at the beginning of your learning because you want to understand immediately. You want to understand everything. Person learns an Amud one time, he's like, I want to understand it right away. And he's upset when he doesn't get the pshat. You're not going to get pshat till 4 times. Then he learns Rashi, he doesn't get it the first time. The second time he's like, I'm not getting it, it's starting to bother him. You think you should understand Rashi after 2 times? Why? Why did you think that? Why do you think that you should understand the Gemara the first time? Why are you so bothered? It takes 10, 15 times. I don't have time for that. I need to understand right now. Part of the learning is the going over it again and again and breaking yourself over it and saying, this matters. Right? Part of the learning is the learning. It's not just the understanding. It's sitting and just doing it again and again and trying to understand. That's how Kadosh Baruch Hu allows the Torah to enter into our system. From the trying. Not just from the actual understanding. It's a big Indian. Amelis B'Torah it's called. Right? You've all heard this before. The Amal. Amal doesn't mean to understand so much. It means to work hard at it. Whether you understand or you don't understand, you are Amal. Right? And Amelis is huge. Amelis is huge. In Pneumius, Amal is the same letter as Olam. Right? Amal, Olam is such around the Mem and the Lamed. Right? Because really when your person is working hard in his learning, he's going from Olam to Olam. The person has different Olamos even within himself. Right? Most people live on the push-up shot, superficial level of life. So if it comes easy, great. If it comes hard, next. I only want if it comes easy, natural, comfortable. But a person who wants to be a perfected person, a whole person, a person who's worked through, a person who's worked hard, you have to work on yourself. You have to learn it again. Even if you don't understand, you have to work through it. Because that builds perseverance. That builds determination. These are very big words. These are very big inner kochos that we have that we don't usually get to because if I don't get it, I move on. Who perseveres in life? What are you persevering in these days? What are you determined to do? You get up, you do the same thing you do, you daven, you're not persevering, you just daven, whatever, Droopy Jew. You go learn Droopy Jew. You go to work, okay, you know the thing, you've done the drill already 10 times. Yeah, maybe the first time you did the work, you had to fight through because you don't understand. Once you get the hang of it, by rote, same thing again and again. So our life becomes one superficial just blob. There's no working through anything. You're not persevering, you're not determined, you're not working hard. But part of man is bedafka, you have to work hard. We always want the answers right away. We always want the money right away. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, you're not getting it. That's not what makes a man. What makes a man is being a man. Working hard through things, trying, davening, falling, scraping your knee, and getting back up again. Right? That's how it is. Same thing in learning. Learning, trying to understand, totally not getting it, getting frustrated, and getting thrown off the horse, getting back on, and getting back on. And it could take, who knows, 6 months, a year, 2 years, doesn't matter. The tachlis is just keep getting on the horse. But you got to be in the game. You got to be in the game. Pick a safer, something, move through it. Nowadays we have English, so at the very least you can get the push-up shot. The translation of the words you can get. We have almost everything in English. Any important sefer is in English that you need. Name it. Mishnah, Gemara, Medrash, Chumash, Mishnah Brura, Shulchan Aruch, Kedushas Levi. Everything. There's no lacking. Take a sefer and just go through it. You don't have to understand it so much. Just go through it. Go through it. Be a person who's learning. Every single day we say, La'asok b'divrei. What is osik? I'm osik. I'm dealing with it. I'm in it. I'm in the game. Get in the game. Learn 2 Mishnayos. Okay, so you don't get every Mishnah. Okay. So it says you have to. No, then I can't make a siyum. Yes, you can. What are you talking about? No, the Yetzer Hara told me I can't. Very good. Just learn. B'simcha rabba. First, going to learn, and he's going to fight. He's going to be droopy. Because I have to. Like, where's the chizuk? Where's the excitement? Where's the? It's partially because of our upbringing. Because unfortunately, Torah was made into like some kind of subject and some kind of tests, and not always enjoyable for whatever reason. Therefore, there's a certain sour taste in our mouth. So change it up. What are we, babies? We're still living in the body of a 13-year-old. It's time to move on in life. No? Like what? You don't play basketball because when you were 13, your coach yelled at you. You were embarrassed. So now today I can't play basketball because the coach yelled at me when I was 13. Move on. No? Chazik. Be strong. Put your head in the learning and move. Bezrizis. You'll understand. How much you understand? Don't worry about that right now. We get so caught up in our mind, how much we don't understand. It's all Yetzer Hara's. He doesn't want you to be a guy who's learning. I'd rather you sit and learn for 45 minutes and understand 10% than not learn at all. But that's what happens. The Yetzer Hara gets not to learn at all because not understand it, and then you get frustrated. Then you're like, I'm not doing it anyway. It's happening. People are falling like flies all over the place. If you don't understand right now, you'll understand afterwards. And if it comes even after, you're going over it, whatever, you don't understand it. Who cares? The tzaddik is saying, let it go. You can trust the tzaddik, rely on him. So after 120 years, the malachim are going to come, the angels are going to come and say, okay, let's go, let's look at your learning. So you learned this amount. How much did you understand? The guy's like, Taka, 10% of what I did. 10%? You're a loser. The guy's like, I know I'm a loser. I can't. Just put me down. Send me down to Gehenna. Just send me down there. And then Rabbi Nachman comes in, swoops in, and says, no, I told him it's okay. Oh, Rabbeinu. The malachim were like, oh, Rabbeinu. He said it's okay? Okay, let him in. Let him in. Even the Rizal says, that anything a person learns in this world, even if he doesn't understand it, he'll get to chazar it over again and again in the afterworld, whatever that means, within the neshamas. Get to chazar it over again and again. So it's kedai just to. That's what this paragraph is talking about. There's 2 parts. There's 2 understandings of this Sichos Haran. There's one part where you have to understand a pashut pshat and move on. Still move fast. And if you don't understand something, still move on. Then there's just pashut saying a lot of words. Reading Midrashim, reading Zohar, reading Gemaras. You're going to go upstairs after 120 and you didn't finish Shas? I didn't finish Shas. Because I don't understand it. Who said you have to understand it? Didn't the Arizal tell you? If you just read the words, your neshama can chazar it over for the rest of your life? You have to have a seder of reading.
I think you mentioned that a lot with like reading on Shabbos morning. You say like read the Zohar even if you don't understand, right? You just
it's needed on Shabbos to read the Zohar. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Shabbos to read some Zohar, nothing wrong. Might be nice to dip in the mikveh first, Might be nice to dip in the mikveh first, and squeeze the towel a little, but Kimailas riboy halimud ola al hakol. Listen to this line. Kimailas riboy halimud, the maila of a lot of learning, ola al hakol, is like the most important. In a certain way, it's more important than understanding. Because if you understand a lot, but you're learning very little, but versus a guy who's just learning all the time. He doesn't really understand so much, but he's always in learning. This guy's he's an osik but Talmud Torah, right? Well, you have to think about it. Guy who's learning understands. He's not a posik. He's not a Maggid Shir. This guy who's learning, and he understands, and he learns an hour a day. Now you have a guy. He's not a posik, not a Maggid Shir. He's a regular balabas, and he's learning 4 hours a day. Somehow he manages 4 hours a day, and he understands less than the guy with 1 hour a day. Kadosh Baruch Hu looks down on these people. Again, not a posik, not a Maggid Shir. Of course, there's a tachlis to understanding and learning. Of course, I'm not saying. But if you had a choice, like Kadosh Baruch Hu's eyes, who does the Kadosh Baruch Hu want to see more? It's not Pasha. Right? Learning is the Ratzon Hashem. Torah is the Ratzon Hashem. This person's in there for 4 hours a day. Yeah, he doesn't understand it so much. But he's learning for 4 hours a day. This guy, he's learning for an hour. Very nice. And he understands. It's very nice. Remember, Kadosh Baruch Hu says, this is my book. All the books. This is my stuff. These are my memoirs. My bibliography. My biography. This is my... Here. Piece of me. Here. Enjoy it. Live with it. Brain with it. So one guy's for 4 hours. One guy's for an hour. It's not so push it. Because was looking at this person. Can you imagine? 4 hours a day, this guy's in it. He understands too. The Riboy HaLimud Ola Alakol. It's a big thing. Take a safer, take an amount of time, and just go. And don't stop. Don't learn by amount of pages, learn by amount of time. Here's a half hour. I'm doing for a half hour right now. I'm not stopping. Well, but it's only Parshas Yisro this week. What do you do after you're done with it? You're done with the Aliyah in 7 minutes. I don't know. Go back to Bereshis. Who cares? That's happened some days. The Aliyah is the Aliyah. Today's Aliyah. Anybody did Shlishi today? Tiny. So that's it. I'm done for the day. Did my Aliyah. Move on. You're crazy? You're a crazy person. You're there for 3 minutes today. Shnai Mikra. That's it. So now you have an opportunity. Now you can learn. You want to learn a Rashi, Be'in. You're going to go back to an Aliyah before. You want to move. But it's a crazy thing. We should miss at times. Times. Half hour, 45 minutes. Just like that every day. An hour. Pick different limudim. A little bit in the morning, a little bit in the night. During the day. But we got to get in it. Go try that for 6 months. Give yourself 6 months of Riboy Limud. A few extra Sidorim. Now, I don't care if I understand. I'm not letting the Yitzhak stop me. I can make 30 minutes after davening. I can make 30 minutes before davening. I can make 30 minutes after mincha. 30 minutes after Mariv. There's times to do it. Shabbos, there's plenty of time. Sunday, there's a little bit more time. You go to the 9 o'clock minyan. You get there 8:30. You could do it. Give yourself a half hour. Give a few extra half-hour slots a day. Figure it out. Pick any limit you want. You could read Navi. Read it. Hebrew, English. And just move. Mishnayos, Art Scroll. Hebrew, English. Just go. Half hour. Keep track of how many you finish. But you have to keep the half hour. Don't stop the half hour. See what happens after a month or 2, a month or 3 months. It's going to chazak you. It's going to be big time. It's going to be the greatest chazak in the world. Because you're accomplishing. Again, it's not about understanding necessarily. You will understand some. And some you won't understand, but that's not the point here. The point is to be involved in learning. That's Kabbalah SaTorah. To be makabel the Torah. This week's parsha. K'mo Rabbi Hussein Chazal tell us, ligmor v'hader lizbor. You have to learn a lot, and then you can understand. You know, we have two types of learning, Bikiyas and Be'iyan. This became very famous, right? So people will tell you, Bikiyas. You gotta learn Ian. Understand the Amkus. Spend a few hours a day. What is the word Bikiyas? What does it mean, Bikiyas? What does it mean, Baki? Needs to be an expert, no? No. You don't need to learn Bikiyas. You don't need to be an expert. You should just learn Ian. It's a joke. Bikiyas, you have to learn a lot. You have to learn a lot because you want to become an expert at something. You have to learn a lot. Of course you have to learn Ian. to tell a person not to learn B'kiyas. Even if you don't understand what you're saying. Again, we grew up in a different system. You did not grow up in Sichos Haran Ayin Vav. Very few people. The Breslovers, the real ones, they do. We didn't grow up in this way. We grew up in the other Mahalach.
You grew up in Sichos Haran.
We didn't grow up in Sichos Haran at all. I know. So we have to retrain our brains. And if you're learning the Sefer and you believe in the Tzaddik, which if you don't, why are you here? But, believe in the Tzaddik and do what he says. And just start learning a lot of B'kiyas. If you have an Ian, who even has an Ian Seder anymore? If you're not in the yeshiva system, it's very rare. If you're never in the yeshiva system, it's very, very rare. And if you're in the yeshiva system and then you're out of it because you become a balabas, then it's very rare to also have an Ian Seder. It's rare. Now they have these programs now, people are trying to get back into it. These Orises and the Daf Yomi is not an Ian. Orises, the Amid Yomi, which is it's Oris, it's different stuff. People don't even have Ian Seder. So be marbe, add it into your B'kiyas then. Take it upon yourself to do it. Very important. Shenema, the Pasuk says, Garsa, I don't know how to say Garsa, I don't know. What is it? Garsa Nafshi Lataiva. So I think he's playing words that to be Gores, Ligros is to learn a lot. That's not what it means in Tehillim, but he's making a playing words. Garsa Nafshi Lataiva. That my nefesh you should have a taiva to learn a lot. To learn a lot of B'kiyas, go, move. Kiadei riboy halimud sheyilma b'mehiris v'yizke luma harbe. If you're learning fast, learning a lot, you'll be zochet to learn a lot. You'll be zochet to learn a few times this svarim. Meseches brachas mishnayos. If you go through it fast. 9 prakim. I don't know how many mishnayos there is. Whatever it is. 80 mishnayos. I don't know. So move through it fast. Just because you finish doesn't mean you have to go to Demai. Start mishnayos brachas again. Not that you have to move on. Learn a second time. Learn a third time. You could finish the entire Masechta. You could read through it in a week. If you give yourself a half hour a day, you could finish the entire Masechta brachas mishnayos. If you've never done it before, you can finish in a week. No, 57 mishnayos. Okay, you can finish it in 5 days.
9 probably.
Go through it 3 times. Why not? Challenge yourself. It's Kedai. Make 1 extra half hour Seder. Take 1 extra limit and just give it a few weeks. It's good. You'll feel good. You'll feel good because you're doing what's right. L'gomrim lachzer lahaschil, to finish it, start again. L'gomrim pam achar pam, to finish it again and again. Who finishes Svarim again and again? Who finishes Svarim? I bedavka have Sedarim where I'm learning things that I don't fully get. I move very fast, like the Daf Yomis, just to keep moving. I don't make a siyum, that's not the, and I move through many, but just to keep the flow going. I have Ian, okay, I have much more time than you guys have. I have Ian Sedarim, where I'm learning things slower, the Svarim, whatever it is. And then I have B'kiyas Sedarim, where I'm not getting the full understanding of it, but we're moving. We keep the flow going. If once it gets a little too cold and the water starts to go, the flow of the water, the river starts to get slower and slower, turns into ice, eventually you stop learning. You got to keep the flow going. Mayim Chaim. Got to keep going. Torah's Mayim. Sometimes you'll understand the second time. Well, you didn't understand the first time. Vashlishi, you'll understand the third time. So you'll understand the second and the third time, but you didn't understand the first time. So what you don't understand at the first time? You know what? What's the svar? We get stuck. We don't think about that. We get stuck. Who cares if I don't understand the first time or the second time? Who cares? Who said learning is all about understanding? Logically, that's what we think very quickly. But we've never thought about our logic. Who said that? Whoever told you that learning equals understanding? Learning Torah equals understanding. No one ever told you that. That's like the stam understanding. Is that true? Is that true?
What are you learning then?
I'm learning because the Kadosh Baruch Hu wants me to learn this Sefer.
What are you learning?
Chumash. I'm reading the words of
You
Chumash.
don't understand it.
It doesn't mean you mamish understand nothing. It's like Chinese. You have to, again, that's what I'm saying. Hebrew, English. In one ear out the other. You learn Shnai Mikra, and you learn in Hebrew, English. It's in one ear out the other. You're barely remembering anything, or whatever Mishnah is. But did you not learn that moment? The moment that you learned it, and you understood the basic English, you're not learning. If you understand learning is only understanding, then yeah, you didn't learn it all. But who said that?
It's not
Who made it up?
We're not like saying like Tehillim, just saying words.
No,
It's more than that, right?
the most basic. Reading Hebrew English. A person reads a
Simple
Gemara.
comprehension.
He was reading a Daf Yomi Gemara, just moving through it fast. He's reading the Aramaic and the English, Aramaic and English. He's not retaining anything. You can't retain a shock of the tire like that.
He's comprehending.
But he's not learning. He's learning.
It's not studying for a test, you know. It's the fact that you've devoted
Should be
whatever amount of
working.
time.
Exactly. But we
doing
don't.
that.
But some people are not doing. We're not doing that because like, what's the point? It's just the Yetzer Hara. Learning means learning. Doesn't mean understanding. Understanding is another facet. That's good. We should try, and it's deeper. But learning is learning. Understanding is understanding. Those are two different things. We mix things together all the time. Like hangry. Hungry and angry. Those are not two. That's not one thing. It's two separate things. You could be hungry and not angry. It's possible. But no, it's hangry. It's almost like it's like mutter. Anyway. No, I'm not getting into that now. No, it's very, very important. We don't even chop this tiny little nuanced Yetzer Haras that destroy us. Because we never think about it. It's never pushing. You have to learn. You have to understand. It's never pushing. You have to have levels of understanding. Again, understanding doesn't mean we're just reading Aramaic and not understanding this. What it means. Understand what it means, but move. That's what it means. You don't understand. You don't even have to understand Rashi. You don't have to read Rashi. Right? Art scrolls that come with Rashi. Right? All the guys were learning Art Scroll Gemara, so that's it. It's not learning because they didn't do Rashi. Vada didn't do Tosfos. Rashi's not doing on the bottom sometimes the Ian. Of course, it's learning. Rashi also had to learn the Gemara first. Get caught up. Stop getting caught up. Pick something you want to learn and just pick a time and just do it. Just do it. And tell me what you're learning. I'd like to know. Tell me when, so I can come check up on you. Tell me what you're learning. I won't test you because it's not about testing. The time I can check up on you, but testing I'm not going to test. You feel good. The learning is the ikr. Any understanding is a bonus. Psst. Could you imagine if you come to class like that? Okay, guys. All you need to do is listen to it. You're getting 100. And if you understand something, 110 and you get ice cream. That's how school should be. Starting school.
Club, something BU?
JBU.
I'm sending my
Just
kids.
BU.
Yeah.
It's
That's what we
co-ed,
do,
no?
no test.
It's going to be really expensive, though.
Both my kids.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, I got it. Anybody's up.
They don't retain anything.
But she's fine. She said, yeah? What time is it? 9:50. Okay. We got the major point tonight. Next week we're going to come and try to clock in a little bit more. But think about it. What extra half hour a day can you give? And by the way, when you make this Siddharam, you have to be normal.
Right.
A person's Friday sometimes is not like his Monday and Tuesdays.
Hey.
So don't make it for Friday.
Hey, half hour.
But a few days a week, 3-4 days a week, whatever it is, set an extra, if you do all 7th grade, set a half hour, a new limud, whatever it is. Pick anything. Anything. And if you need help, let me know and I'll help you out.
Specifically 30 minutes uninterrupted, not 15 and 15, 10, 10, 10.